Hi, my name is Courtney Allen, and I'm so excited to tell you about my internship experience with Boundless Experiences, which actually is my own wedding planning business that I started a little over a year ago. And this has been my first busy wedding season, and I have loved it so much. And I'm excited to tell you a little bit about my internship. So, just to get started out, this is me here on the left. As I mentioned, I am the founder of Boundless Experiences, and I'm also the lead planner and coordinator. But I have also brought on an assistant coordinator, the beautiful girl pictured on the right. Her name is Amelia, and she's actually applying to the ExDM program next year. And I'm so excited for her. This has been an incredible summer of weddings, and a lot of it is because I have had a teammate to work with. And that is something that is not only one of the things that you learn in the business school is working together as a team, but also just it made the experience so much more enjoyable. Having someone to chat with during the workday, bounce ideas off of. We were able to split up and handle different tasks. And honestly, because of Amelia, I truly believe that having us both there made it possible for our clients to truly be present on their wedding day because they knew that not just one person, but two people were taking care of everything. So during this presentation, I'm going to cover a few questions such as some accomplishments that I've had, some skills I've developed and improved, challenges I've faced and how I've overcome them, and also just what my future plans are moving forward. But first, I want to kind of review a little bit of the weddings that I have done so far this year. I have done 6 so far. My first one was here on the left in April, Emily and Ryan, then Natasha and Cody in the middle, Emma and Tyson on the right, Sarah and Robert on the left, Emma and Carter in the middle, and then just barely had London and Camden on the right. And something that I have learned and with each wedding is that each couple is so unique. They have a unique vision and desire and kind of just vibe that they want their wedding day to feel like. And I have loved nothing more than being able to bring that vision to life for them. The other thing that I've loved about my internship experience is not only the variety of couples that I've worked with, but also the different services that I've offered to different clients. So, majority of the services that I offer are day of coordination, which means that I help them in about like the month leading up to the wedding. I help them put together their wedding planning timeline, and I kind of just gather all the details from them so that they can disconnect on the day of and just trust that I'll handle everything. But I've also had the opportunity to do full service planning, specifically for this couple in the middle, Carter and Emma. They really just wanted me to just take control. They were able to share their vision with me, and then I was just able to execute it. It was a very much like, we love lace, we love vintage, we love moody, and it turned out so beautiful. I loved it so much. But next, I also want to talk about kind of a challenge that I faced during my internship. This actually happened a little over a month ago, and it was really frustrating. So, like I said, I had been building up my business for the last year or so before this internship. And I had built my account to, like you can see in the picture on the right, about 3,300 followers. And I was super proud of that. I was super thankful. And then all of a sudden, I got a notification from Instagram letting me know that something that I had done was in violation of a community standard, but they didn't tell me what it was, and they disabled my account. And I never have found out what it was exactly that happened. I thought, oh, maybe it's because I posted some pictures from Pinterest, maybe it, and didn't like give proper credit. I wasn't sure, but either way, my account got shut down and I had to start from scratch. And that was really frustrating just because there is so much credibility that comes when a wedding vendor has at least 3,000, maybe 2,000 followers. And so this picture on the right is where I'm at now. I'm slowly building it back up, but it has definitely been a setback. But if anything, it has taught me that I need to be a lot more intentional about the content that I post. Like I mentioned, when I had my first Instagram account, my original before it got shut down, I didn't have a lot of content at that point because I just started doing weddings this year. And so I didn't necessarily have my own weddings that I could post about. So that's why I pulled from Pinterest or I found these other things. But I'm really thankful that now I have had this fresh start. And that's kind of what I viewed it as, to really showcase my weddings that I have worked on and the vendors that I've collaborated with and the relationships that I've built with different vendors. It has been honestly such a privilege. And then as for skills that I've developed, this is the main one. It is developing a wedding planning timeline. It is so much harder than you think it is. There are so many little details that need to be built into it. So, what I typically would do is I would meet with my clients and I would ask them, how do you want your day to feel? And that was always like the first question that I would ask them. And then I'd make sure to protect that feeling that they wanted their wedding day to create. But there's also the logistics of it, which is why this timeline is so important. So I would bill it out minute by minute when vendors would arrive and leave based on their contracted hours, when photos would be taken, the ceremony, like order and spacing. And this is just 2 pages of probably a 5 or 6 page timeline that I built for this last wedding that I did. And it turned out great. Another skill and opportunity that I had, like I mentioned, that my full service client, Emma and Carter, I had the opportunity to build their wedding invitation and kind of make it personalized to what they wanted it to look like, run it by them. And so that was a really fun skill to develop just a little bit further using Canva. But I also want to talk about an ExDM principle that I implemented during my internship in one specific case, and that ExDM principle is empathy. So as you can see in these beautiful pictures from a wedding I did, this was Emma and Tyson's wedding. They loved all things like country. His hobby was like shed hunting, where you don't like actually hunt, but you go and pick up the sheds off of like the ground from the different animals that leave their antlers and their horns and stuff. And so as you can see in all of these pictures, they had them sprinkled throughout their venue. They had this engraven one on the left. In the middle, they had one built into their arch on the side with some florals, and they even had them resting on as like centerpieces on the tables. And so they loved this vibe. And these were, like I mentioned, they were day of coordination clients. They had not booked me for full service. And so with day of coordination, I don't really include like vendor sourcing, going and finding specific vendors that they want. She had mentioned to me though, this was probably a few weeks before their wedding date, she was like, I'm still looking for a Highland cow. I really want to get a Highland cow for our wedding. And so I was like, okay, I really hope that that ends up happening. So as I'm following up, we're getting like the week of the wedding, and she's like, I still haven't found one. And I'm like, ooh, it's getting close, you know? Then the day before the wedding, she's like, yeah, I couldn't find one. It's okay. Like, and I was like, no, I know that this is so important to her. I had empathized with like that desire that she had to really bring this vision to life. And I could just, I wanted it to happen for her. I had empathized with her to the extent of understanding like, this is her wedding day, and this is like her one big ask. Like she specifically booked this venue because she knew that they would allow a Highland cow to come. And so I was like, okay, we have to make this happen. So I called around to different people, and we ended up finding someone that could bring their Highland cow dream to life. And so this little Highland cow named Chili came and joined them on their wedding day, and it was so special. And another thing that I've recently started is decor rentals. So I am just now starting this up, and I haven't officially started renting my decor out to anyone just because I'm still gathering different objects, but it's just something that I want to have available for my clients to add on to their packages, so they don't have to go and source all their own decor. They can just trust, okay, Courtney has it. Like, I'll just add that onto my package. And for people that don't book with me, they also have access to it. And as for my future plans, I mean, like I said, I have that decor rental that I'm kind of building onto my business, but also just continuing to really love and serve my clients that I'm still working with. I believe I have 7 or 8 more weddings coming up, and I am so excited to just continue giving them my all, giving them my best. And I have just been so thankful for this growing opportunity that this internship experience with my own business has given me. Being able to pour my whole heart and self into my clients, I think, is what really has contributed to just this joy that I feel, and also just such business growth. So thank you.